Hey friends, welcome to Homestead. If you're new here, I'm Hope. My husband Michael and I are in the process this week of hatching our first batch of quail eggs, and we've just been sharing the experience so far. So today I want to catch up on what our whole experience was like. So if you're new to quail, then hopefully you can learn from some of the things that we learned and maybe some of the mistakes that we made. Welcome back. On the last video, we were sharing how we had just received the eggs that we had ordered. So we already had an incubator. We already had our incubator. We started with the MaticoopX, the 30 egg incubator, which we've kind of multiplied out. If you are working with quail eggs, you can probably fit about 72 to 75 quail eggs or jumbo quail eggs into that same incubator. So that's what we were working with. And setting up the incubator was super easy. Receiving the eggs was not a problem either. Once we had them in place, we opened the box, we examined all of the eggs, and we turned them all so that they are pointy side down. And we let them sit like that for a solid 24 hours. I think they say that you can go 12 hours and you're okay, but I just happened to be out of town, so Michael waited until I came back so that we could move them into the incubator together. Now, when we did make that transition and move them together, we kind of both needed to work together. The incubator had been set up and was nice and warm. We started out by removing the trays. We don't have inserts for our trays. So these are the trays that the eggs would go in. If you had chicken eggs, they would fit perfectly. But quail eggs, we sort of just zigzagged, sort of doubled them up. And in one tray, we were able to get anywhere from like 14 to 16 eggs, roughly. We did have one tray that was not completely full, so we just filled it in with some of the extra packing that came with the eggs to kind of take up that extra space. So as far as we know, I don't think we damaged any of the eggs while they were in incubation, because we had them nice and snugly set in. So when we put the trays back in, we had one tray that was empty, but we went ahead and put that tray back in so that it would rotate back and forth. That way, if one of the eggs on the other sides, fell over or whatever, it would have a tray underneath it to catch it. So thankfully, that did not happen. Once we got the incubator set up, we had our temperature set at 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit, and we were aiming to keep our humidity between 40 and 50%. That was a bit of a struggle for us because there is a bottle where you can add water from the outside of the incubator, which is wonderful. You don't have to open it up and lose your moisture and lose your heat, but the humidity just kept going off the charts in different directions. So we ended up trying to do different things to keep it from going too high while we were in the first 14-day stage. And let me make another point here of saying that we knew we needed to go incubate for 14 days before we went to lockdown. But we set our incubator up in the middle of the day. So we were constantly going, is this day 1 or day 2? Or has it been 1 day or whatever? So set yourself a system to determine what number day each day is. We finally realized that 1 o'clock on Wednesday, which was the day that we started, we moved the eggs to the incubator, was basically day 0. So at 1 o'clock each day is when we knew that we were transitioning to the next day. So here we are right now. We are at 49%, and we've gone through a fair amount of water. Like, this bottle is empty now, and this is at least bottle number 2. We are on day, that did say 14, so this is like day 6. And according to the Maticoop instructions, 1 bottle should last us about 7 days. And we've gone through 2 bottles already in less than that amount of time. So hopefully we can get something figured out here. That we did get a GoVee hygrometer. And we were so eager to get this set up, and I'm going to make another video about this later because I haven't really taken the time to really see all the capabilities of it, because it's supposed to be a Bluetooth monitor. We're supposed to be able to use it on our phone, but I just put the batteries in it and stuck it straight into the incubator because we were so concerned about the humidity level. It did help us with having a little bit more of a peace of mind about what the temperature actually was, because the hygrometer was a little bit lower than what the temperature read on the top of the incubator, and the humidity level was just 1 or 2 degrees off as well. So we really liked the fact that it seemed to record in real time pretty quickly. So I'm going to do a little bit more digging into that, but I will link this hygrometer because it was not very expensive and it worked well. I did attempt, while we were waiting for that one to show up, to buy one from Walmart. It was I don't remember the name of the brand, but it was not a very expensive one, and it was battery operated. But when I got it home and put the batteries in it, it was just completely dead. And I switched out with some other batteries that I had, and it still, after trying 3 different sets of batteries, was just no good whatsoever. So the GoVee was highly recommended, so that's what we chose, and I'm pretty sure we're going to go back and buy at least probably 2 more. Another thing that we did once we got the eggs into the incubator is I attempted to start Googling and looking for images for what the chicks would look like when they hatched. We've got 6 different varieties of jumbo quail, and we're a little bit confused right now because we don't really know which is which. We can tell which one our jumbo whites are because they're completely yellow with a little dark spot on their head, but a lot of the other ones are just kind of different variations of brown or yellow with stripes, and it's going to take us some time to figure out which one is which variety. So if I had it to do over again, I think I would have stuck with just buying 1 variety of egg, so that way you're not worried about trying to figure out which is which, and not trying to keep them separated. One of the things that we did do, or we attempted to do, we attempted to use some baskets inside the incubator when we did go on lockdown, and we like I said, we attempted to put all of one variety egg in each basket or in between the baskets. But as you will see, when the eggs started to hatch, the chicks didn't necessarily stay in their basket. Sometimes they jumped out. Sometimes they started outside the basket and they jumped into other baskets. So it didn't work very well. So the next time around, we're not going to use these. However, we lined the bottom of the baskets with this like drawer liner that is kind of squishy. It has a little give to it, and it is washable too. So I saved these strips. I don't know what I will use these for in the future, but we do have bigger pieces of that, and we did line the bottom of our incubator with that shelf liner so that the chicks had something for their feet to grip. Day 14 came and ended, and at that point, as we were transitioning from day 14 to day 15, we made the transition to lockdown. So at that point, we removed the eggs and the trays and we candled them. Now we did use the egg candler in the top of the Maticoop, but we also found it helpful to have a smaller flashlight, and we used this as well. I've heard of another brand that we are going to look into, so once we buy one of those and test it out, we will definitely share. But just a small flashlight was very helpful with that. It was difficult to get this recorded because every time we put an egg on the candler and I went to take a picture of it, the flash would go off, or if I had the flash turned off, it would not be a clear picture. So the images are really difficult, but when you have an egg that has sort of a glow about it when it's on the candler or on a flashlight, then that's typically going to be an egg that is not fertilized and is not going to hatch. If it is dark and the light does not go through it, then it's pretty safe to say it is fertilized and it has matured. Whether or not it will hatch might be a different story. So now we are going to almost have that closed so that the humidity will increase. And give that some time to catch up. We'll come back and check it. Currently it's 85 degrees in there. We'll see how fast it goes up. So here is what we have from the original eggs. We had 5 of the sparkly roos that were not viable or not fertilized. We have 4 of the Italian sparkles that were not fertilized. 7 of our whites. 4 of our whites were not fertilized, and 1 of the pansy fees. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 out of 60. So not terrible. To figure out what that percentage is.
We do have to remember that they got delayed in the mail.
Yeah. And
Up to 88.
good. That's climbing. Our humidity is up to 59% right now. It says 51 on the top, or 50. Yeah, it says 51 on the top. So we'll see. We are locked down, ready to see what happens. So by the middle of day 18, which was actually Sunday, we woke up to about 2/3 of our chicks having hatched, and they were close to being ready to move to a brooder around lunchtime that day. So we were blessed to have our grandson here with us, and it was his first experience with quail. And, well, it's so cute. You just have to see.
Somebody said mama.
Careful, be gentle. It's a baby.
It's a baby.
It's a baby.
You wanna touch it with a finger? With your finger?
Good job, buddy. See how little?
If it won't stay in his hand, you don't jump.
Yeah, they're
You did it.
Be gentle, gentle.
You can touch it.
One
Do you
finger.
want to stick your finger in there and touch him?
One finger.
Good job. You want to touch one of those?
Ooh, good touch, buddy. You did?
Once more. Touch more.
Oh my goodness. You did it.
This is sweet.
More.
Okay, just a minute.
Wait.
What do you say?
Pee.
Good job, buddy.
We had a few scragglers that continued to hatch until Sunday evening. We woke up with one extra that hatched overnight, but by Monday morning, all of the chicks that were going to hatch had hatched, and it was time to clean things up. We got this last few moved to the brooder. We've enjoyed listening to their little peeps, and they're just so cute. I couldn't wait to get my hands on them, and I'm really enjoying having them in the house right now. However, they are beginning to smell just a bit, and we are quickly ready to move them to a new space, and we're getting that ready. So I hope you found some of that to be helpful. If you have questions that we could address in another video, we'd be happy to. And until then, I am going to leave you with a little ASMR of baby chicks that are 2 days old, just hanging out in their brooder. Catch you guys on the next video. Have a blessed day.